Their first Qibla are being desecrated, are being attacked. Muslims are being killed inside Al-Aqsa Mosque and nobody can move. The only thing that the Arabs used to do is their condemnation, to say that we reject and condemn what is happening in Al-Aqsa Mosque, and we demand the international community to intervene and to stop what is happening there. So the Palestinians had to act. They have started several uprisings, what we call intifada, to protect and to defend the first Qibla and the Holy Land on behalf of the whole of the Muslim Ummah. The Palestinians have exerted their utmost effort to protect Al-Aqsa. And they have sacrificed many things, and all of their dear things, including their blood and souls. Last intifada, the current intifada, the one that we are living now, has started October last year. And many people have been killed so far. The reason behind this intifada, or this uprising, or this revolution against what is happening in Al-Aqsa Mosque in particular, and in the West Bank and the whole Palestine in general, was the desecration of Al-Aqsa. And I think you still remember the video that I have presented previously of Al-Aqsa Mosque being attacked. Bullets, live ammunition, live bullets are shot inside Al-Aqsa, tear gas, stunning grenades. People were attacked, were imprisoned or taken to prison inside Al-Aqsa. And what made the Palestinians extremely upset, extremely angry and mad at what the Zionists were doing was their scheme and their plan to divide Al-Aqsa. I'm sure that many of you know the Al-Haram Al-Ibrahimi Mosque, the mosque in the city of Hebron. This mosque is almost as holy and sacred as Al-Aqsa Mosque, because the tomb of Ibrahim alayhi salam, the father of all prophets and messengers, is there. After the occupation of Palestine, the Zionists started to control the mosque, step by step, gradually, slowly. At the first beginning, they took a corner inside the mosque and they said, we have a right in this mosque because Ibrahim alayhi salam is the father of all the prophets, and we are the followers of Musa alayhi salam, so we need to have just this corner. After a while, they started to take more and more till they completely occupy and control Al-Haram Al-Ibrahim, the Ibrahimi Mosque in Hebron. Recently, the Zionists started to do the same inside Al-Aqsa. As you know, they have already occupied Hayat al-Buraq, the wall of al-Buraq, and they called it the lament wall, Hayat al-Mabka, where they go and cry and scream next to that wall. They kept saying that we have a right in Al-Aqsa Mosque, and we have to divide it between us and Muslims in time and in place. In time from 7 to midday, almost to 12, during this time, Muslims should not go there or must not go there. This time is for the Jews only. And in a place, they decided to take a part of Al-Aqsa. This made the Palestinians extremely mad. So they revolted and they started their current uprising. Almost all the sectors in the West Bank and in Jerusalem, in Al-Quds. And by the way, this is Al-Haram Al-Qudsi. This is the, where is that? Okay, the yellow dome is the Dome of the Rock, where Muhammad ﷺ prayed, ascended to heaven. And this one, the gray one, what is the mark? And this one is Al-Aqsa Mosque. They have taken this wall. This is Al-Buraq wall. It is a part of Al-Aqsa. These people here are all Jews. Muslims are not allowed to go to this area. This is a sacred wall for us. It's a part of Al-Aqsa. And as I said previously, this is where Muhammad ﷺ tied Al-Buraq, in this area. So this area was completely confiscated, and it is completely controlled by the Jews. Now they wanted to move inside Al-Aqsa, where Muhammad ﷺ prayed with all messengers and the prophets, our first Qibla. So the Palestinians, again, this is another photo. This is Al-Aqsa, and this is the Dome of the Rock, Qubbat al-Sakhra. And this is Hayat al-Mabka, the lament wall, full of Jews every day. No single Muslim is allowed to go there. So after the Palestinians started the current intifada, the Zionists retreated. The Zionists halted their plan and they stopped the implementation of the division plan. They didn't forget about it. They just took a step backward so that they would attack severely and fearlessly. They started to watch from a distance what is happening in Al-Aqsa Mosque and what is happening in the West Bank. So they just stepped down their procedures against Al-Aqsa, and they kept planning or to have plan B of what they are going to do against Al-Aqsa. And as I said, they just retreated a little bit so that they would attack again. And they started to estimate and to evaluate the situation on the ground in the Arab and Muslim countries. And they have found, mashallah, the Arabs completely united. And they have started to gather their weapons, cannons, war jets, tanks, for real, alhamdulillah. Arabs are very united right now. And they have started even to use their weapons. But against whom? Against Arabs and Muslims. Surely you have heard about the war launched against Yemen and about the war taking place in Syria. Unfortunately, Arabs and Muslim armies are killing each other, are fighting each other. And alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, yesterday, the Minister of Defense here in Malaysia declared that Malaysia has not participated in any military actions either in Yemen, nor Syria or any other place. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, nothing has happened from the Malaysian side except the help of the oppressed people all over the world. So may Allah Azza wa Jal reward your country and your government all the best. As I said, the Zionists started to evaluate the situation, and again they found it is a golden opportunity and a chance for them to attack again. Recently, the Arab League, which is the, you can say, United Nation for the Arabs, the Arab United Nations, has elected a new Secretary General, Abu al-Ghayt. This one. This is Abu al-Ghayt, who was recently elected as the Secretary General for the Arab League. A very important and a very sensitive position. This man, starting from next May, will be the one to decide and to order things. You know who's this lady? This is Tzivi Livni, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the so-called Israel. You see, she's shaking hands with him. How she was shaking hands with him immediately before, one day before the first war in Gaza. At the end of 2008, she was with Abu al-Ghait in Egypt, shaking hands, laughing together, and even have this very strong shaking hands. After this photo was taken, less than a day after this photo was taken, Israel launched its first war on Gaza. I mean, not the first one, but the one in 2008. So this is Abu al-Ghait, who's going to lead the Arab League starting from next May. So the Zionists again started to know that they are free to do whatever they wish, because the Arabs are very busy handling their own problems and difficulties. So again, the Palestinians found themselves forced and obliged to act in order to face the Zionist aggression and attacks against the Al-Aqsa Mosque and against the whole Palestinian land. Recently, the new thing about the current intifada, the Palestinians started to use different weapons against the Zionists. And just to make the image in your imagination clearer regarding the Palestinian land and the different parts of Palestine, there are mainly 4 parts in Palestine. The occupied Palestine, which is called Israel right now, including the 1948 Arabs, the current so-called Israel, includes almost 2 million Palestinians, 2 million Arabs who are still living inside the areas which are inhabited and controlled by the Yahud. This is the first part. The second part is Al-Quds, Jerusalem. And this city is divided now between the Zionists and the Arabs. There are 2 parts of Al-Quds, where one part is almost Jewish dominated or Jews dominated, and the other one is for the Arabs. But the whole city is controlled by the Jews. It's controlled by the so-called Israel. Completely controlled by them. Sorry. Nothing is allowed to get in or get out from the city of Al-Quds without the permission of the so-called Israel. The third part is the West Bank. The West Bank is controlled by 2 main powers: the Palestinian National Authority and the so-called Israeli army. And there are some, let's say, treaties between them. So in this area, the situation is a little bit different because we have some kind of authority in the West Bank. The fourth part is the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Strip is totally controlled by Palestinians and is totally controlled by the Palestinian resistance, the Palestinian Mujahideen. Alhamdulillah, in the Gaza Strip, we have enough weapons. We have different kinds of weapons that we can protect ourselves. In the West Bank, there are some weapons, but these weapons are controlled by some kind of treaties between the Palestinians and the Israelis. So these weapons are found in the hands of the police, the Palestinian police and soldiers, and they cannot act against the Zionists. Unfortunately, when the Israeli side wants to act inside the West Bank, they just call the Palestinian police. We want to act in this area, so you have to withdraw. Go back. Leave it. Clear it for us so that we can go attack, kill, arrest, demolish, and destroy houses inside the area which is controlled by, or which is supposed to be controlled by, the Palestinians. In Al-Quds, as I told you, in Jerusalem, no weapons, and inside Israel, the whole power and the whole control is in the hands of the Zionists. Now the current intifada is performed by people who are living in the West Bank and in Jerusalem, in Al-Quds. So these people do not have access to weapons to resist and to defend Al-Aqsa. They mainly depended on stones, just stones. Recently, at the beginning of this current intifada, I mean in last October, November, December, and January, February, and this March, they started to use new weapons, starting with knives, stabbing the Zionist soldiers. We know, as Palestinians, that knives cannot liberate Al-Aqsa. With a knife, you cannot defeat a whole army like the Zionist army, which is considered the fourth strong army in the region, and some people say in the world. They have all the weapons that you can imagine, all the sophisticated weapons that you can imagine. But Palestinians, because they have nothing to do except their courage and their belief, their iman, they resorted to knives. Then they started to use their vehicles, their cars, to drive them and attack the Zionist soldiers. Recently, this cartoon shows what they have started to use: knives, then the vehicles and axes. Recently, they started to use some homemade weapons, some homemade arms, small pistols and homemade machine guns, in very few incidents that happened recently. 4 or 5 incidents, Palestinians tried to shoot at the Zionist soldiers. Now you can see this is a Palestinian whom I think I showed here previously, chasing a Zionist soldier with M16, and the only thing that he had is a knife. So now, because of what is happening in the Arab and in the Muslim Ummah, the Palestinians have started again to step up their actions against the Zionists. Their main goal is not to make the Zionists feel comfortable while attacking Al-Aqsa and while biting more and more from the Muslim land in Palestine. We know again, and we are totally confident, that it is almost impossible for us to defeat the Zionists with a stone and a knife. But we believe that sooner or later we will go bye-bye, we will die, and we will face whom? Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal will face every one of us, as I previously said, and He is going to ask us, what have you done for my first Qibla? So the Palestinians are preparing themselves well to say that, Wallahi, with a stone. Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Holy Quran, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah does not order any soul, any person, any man, anything except about the thing that he's capable to do. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما آتاها. And Allah again does not ask anybody or orders anyone about things except the things He has given him. So Allah Azza wa Jal has given us, alhamdulillah, strong bodies, strong will, strong iman, and some stones, and some kitchen knives. So we have to use them. Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Holy Quran, وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ. Allah says, prepare for them, for the enemies of Allah Azza wa Jal, whatever you can from any kind of power or strength. Allah didn't say, try to prepare machine guns nor war jets. This is included for sure in the preparation battle or preparation process. But you have to prepare whatever you have, whatever you can, whatever you are able to prepare. So we are facing them. We are trying to stop them from proceeding and going on and on regarding their plan to divide Al-Aqsa and to control Al-Aqsa. This is the situation in the West Bank and Al-Aqsa. What about the Gaza Strip? The Gaza Strip situation, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, is as usual. Complete closure. It has been almost 10 years now from a complete suffocating closure against the Gaza Strip, a complete siege. And unfortunately, it is done and implemented by the hands of the Zionists and some Arabs. Unfortunately, some. And alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, it is by a regime, not by a people. We are being besieged by the Egyptian army. And not by the whole Egyptian army, but by some officers and the people who are controlling the army. Nothing is allowed to get inside the Gaza Strip. Nothing at all. Previously, I showed to you how the Palestinians survived using the tunnels. The tunnels that they dug beneath the Palestinian-Egyptian borders were new techniques of resistance because we wanted to survive. You cannot ask somebody to resist, to fight, to defend, unless he or she has something to eat and drink. People can resist and can fight with their fists, with their teeth, but they cannot resist and fight without any food or drink. So the Palestinians devised and started digging the tunnels on the Palestinian-Egyptian borders. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, for some time it was okay, and we in the Gaza Strip managed to get the needed things for us. But recently after the coup in Egypt led by Sisi, he has ordered his army to destroy all the tunnels, all of them. Okay, they tried their best to destroy, but nobody knows the exact place of the tunnels. They know that the tunnels are in this area, for example. But where are the openings, the eyes? We call them Ain al-Nafaq, the eye of the tunnel or the opening, the doors, the gates of the tunnels. Nobody knows. So he was told by some satanic people about an idea to submerge the whole area with the seawater. So he brought huge pipes and he started to pump the whole area with seawater. I think I have some photos. Yeah. This is the area of the tunnels. And by the way, previously, the area of the tunnels is known by everybody. It's like the KLCC. You just say, I want to go to KLCC, many people will guide you. Tell Palestinians, I want to go to the tunnels area, you can even see it from a distance. But nobody knows where there are openings. So he started to pump millions of liters of seawater into the area, and he managed to destroy almost 99.9999% of the tunnels. Very, very few, maybe tens of the 1,400 plus tunnels that we used to have. As you can see, rivers started to run on the Palestinian-Egyptian borders. And some of the houses on the borders almost collapsed. You can see this is a part of a street on the borders due to the seawater that was pumped by the Egyptian army. The situation, as I told you, in Gaza is like it was, and even worse. People cannot travel outside. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I myself, maybe some people know that I'm resuming my higher studies here. I'm a PhD student in UM. I have been here in Malaysia now for almost a year and a half with my 3 kids, but my wife is in Gaza. I am a father and a mother at the same time. I have tried everything, alhamdulillah. Cooking, sweeping, cleaning, making the laundry, the dishes. The only thing that I have to try is pregnancy, alhamdulillah. So she has been trying to travel to come here for a long time, but unfortunately the borders are closed and they are just open for 1 or 2 days, and thousands of people want to travel outside because we have many students, we have many people who work outside, we have many people who want to get a treatment outside. Nobody is allowed to leave the Rafah border. You can see how many people are packed on the Rafah crossing trying to get a chance to travel. No fuel. And now the crisis is even more complicated because of the destruction or of the submerging the tunnels with the seawater. No cooking gas. You can just think about these problems. No medications. And the tunnels, the lung that we used to breathe through is totally full of water. Previously, the Egyptian army used to destroy the tunnels with explosive devices, with bombs. But within 1 or 2 days, the Palestinians could dig a new opening for the tunnel. You destroy it from this area, I open a new area, but now it is totally submerged with water. You can't dig, you can't walk, you can't get anything. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, today there was supposed, or a sheikh, you may know him, Shatibi, the very famous reciter, Quran reciter, was supposed to come here and to talk to you. He is representing, he's right now in Malaysia, and he's collecting donations for the tahfiz centers all over the world. And he came as a representative of the Palestinians inside the Gaza Strip and in Palestine because they cannot travel and come by themselves. So he's representing them. And he was supposed to come here and raise donations and to collect money for the Tahfiz Center. Alhamdulillah, in Gaza, we have every year thousands of new hafiz. And I think I previously talked about them. Within 3 months, we prepare a fully hafiz, boys and girls. But the hafiz is not very strong, and they do not make hafiz with understanding of the meaning of the verses. They just recite them quickly. After a while, we have these programs of tahfiz during the school vacation. In the school holiday for 3 months, the next year, the students who became hafiz will have another course so that they would strengthen their hafiz and to start to have some kind of tafsir and ahkam. So alhamdulillah, in Gaza we have thousands of hafiz of the Holy Quran, and some of them have the sanad. that they have this hifz by their sheikhs till they go back to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in Gaza, alhamdulillah, as I said, we have different centers, many centers, tens or maybe hundreds of centers all over the Gaza Strip and Palestine. And some of them, as you can see, are supported by Malaysia. We do care for our young Hafiz, boys and girls, and even for the old people. And Muslim Care, whom I represent, is responsible for supporting the courses of Sanad in Khan Yunis city. Recently we have started a new one where 13 people gather in a center in the main mosque in Khan Yunis, Jami' al-Kabir, and within inshallah 4 months they will strengthen their hifz and they will get the Sanad. Now, as I said just a short time ago, that Allah Azza wa Jal said, prepare whatever you can for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. وَأَعِدُّ لَهُمْ مُسْتَطَاعَةٌ مِّن قُوَّةٍ. We have a battle, an ongoing battle in the Holy Land of Palestine. And Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have many people who are defending and protecting and sacrificing themselves, their souls and blood for the sake of the whole ummah, or I mean on behalf of the whole ummah. We know that many people around the world, particularly in Malaysia, want to participate, want to defend Al-Aqsa. But because of the far distance, because of the borders, because of different things, you are not, or you are unable to do such a thing. Now, how can you participate? How can you have a share in this holy battle? In the Holy Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَمَا كَانَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ لِيَنْفِرُوا كَافَّةً. Allah says that the true believers cannot go and fight all as a holy group. Some people can represent the whole. So your brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, we have, as I said in previous talks, we have enough people to fight. But unfortunately, we don't have enough support. You can think about the many, many widows and orphans and the many things that should be done, the preparation process. Just last month, we have lost almost 20 mujahid while they were preparing for the coming battle. And by the way, the coming or the next war against the Gaza Strip is a matter of time. The Zionists are totally ready to attack the Gaza Strip, but they are a little bit frightened and worried from the abilities and the capabilities of the Palestinian resistance. That's why they are just trying to delay and postpone it. So these people are preparing themselves for the sake of the protection of Al-Aqsa and the Palestinian land. 20 people died under the ground while preparing tunnels for the Palestinian resistance. Many of them also, at least I know 11 of them died while training in the training camps which is used to graduate new mujahideen for the protection of your own first Qibla and your own Aqsa. So what is needed from you is to give the available support. And again, as I said, Allah Azza wa Jal says, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Whatever you have, the least is your prayers. They are the most vital thing, very important, and nobody can say that I cannot pray. So the least that we are going, inshallah, to face you in front of Allah Azza wa Jal and ask you about your prayers, because the prayers are very important. Other things, you know, the different kinds of support, to talk on our behalf, to just retell what you have heard and known about the current situation, to encourage people to donate by yourself, to help yourself by your sadaqah. داووا مرضاكم بالصدقة. الصدقة تطفئ غضب الرب. Sadaqah can cure people from their own illnesses and sickness. Also the sadaqah distinguish the anger of Allah Azza wa Jal. All of us are sinful. Everybody commits sins, and Allah sometimes gets angry and mad at us. If you want to clear the anger of Allah Azza wa Jal, it is only by sadaqah. And as our scholars have said, the best sadaqah, the best zakah to be given is for the mujahideen. You can pay, donate, support your brothers and sisters by all the available means that you have, either by money or by any other things. I'd like just to tell or to ask you one question, and this is a serious one, and at the same time just for what would happen if all of you, or if every one of you lost his wallet full with the money inside, all the cards, the credit cards? What would happen? Would you die? If you lost your wallet, would you die? Surely not. Would you feel sad? Surely yes. But would your sadness be as much as the sadness of your brothers in Palestine, in Syria, Arakan, Kashmir, everywhere? Surely not. Suppose that your wallet has got lost, and suppose that you have found it with all the very important cards and with all the majority of the money inside, except 1, 2, 5, 10, 50, 100 ringgits or whatever you can do. Suppose that this thing had happened, and try to donate this for the sake of yourself, because you will find it in your grave. As I previously said, in your grave you can have only the kafan and small pieces of cotton, and that's it. You will find your ringgits there waiting for you. So we again beg you to help yourself by helping your brothers and sisters in Palestine. And the last thing, I want to remind myself and you of the verse that says, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. We will test you. Allah Azza wa Jal, as I said, Allah is testing you. Allah is examining you and testing you by your brothers and sisters who are suffering around you. Try to help them as much as you can. May Allah Azza wa Jal inshallah reward every one of you. Barakallah feeku. Thank you very much. Termeka say wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.